All right, welcome back to another episode of Live from the Living Room. I'm your host, Daryl, and our goal of this show is basically just to bring our thoughts and even our opinions from our living room to yours, or wherever you're watching it right now. With a couple of my brothers, you can introduce yourself.
Irvin.
James.
In today's episode, man, we're just gonna be talking about what it means and what it is like to be a black male in America. So, with that topic in mind, my first question and my first thought that I wanted to present to you guys is simple, and it's very general, but you can tailor it in however you want to do it. What does being black mean to you? Like when that is thrown, what does that mean to you? Some people say, yeah.
It doesn't matter who.
Nah, whoever, you know, if you want to go, you got a thought. But what does it mean, you know, and in any frame? Like, I know it's general, but
I think,
what that mean?
I think being black, to me, I try to take a lot of pride in being black, specifically Black American, because I feel like it's a lot of cultures of black people who take a lot of pride in where they're from, like Jamaicans or Haitians or peoples of African descent, direct African descent, more so than a Black American. And I feel like Black Americans have really been robbed of that cultural experience, even though it's something that's deserved to us. And so I try to take pride in being black like it was like my nationality. The same way they want to swing that flag with red and white and 50 stars on it. Like I want to swing the flag, the Black Power flag. You know what I'm saying? Make my own African American national anthem. You know what I'm saying? So I try to think about it like if it was an ethnicity, and how would I carry myself to represent that? If I'm representing my country in the Olympics every day, what would that look like?
Okay.
I feel a bit conflicted when I'm asked that question, just because of the simple fact that, like, growing up in an African household, but being born in Philadelphia and, you know, being raised in America, it was just like my mother was Nigerian, my dad from Liberia, so they speak different languages, so there's no really like pushing the culture in the household as far as like the language, because they have to speak English to each other. So my mom would speak her language, Yoruba, to me every here and there, and to my siblings, but I never really was able to like grasp it like fluently or anything like that. So I can understand certain things, but I felt a bit detached from the culture, and it's like, you know, going to a majority Nigerian church and seeing a lot of Nigerians, because I'm around that side more than the Liberian side until I got into college really. And it's like your elders expecting me to be like inclined to the language and like knowing what they're saying and stuff like that, and it's like, but I don't, because it's like, damn, I'm kind of like an American,
Right.
But always like taking pride in that side. Like I love being African. Like I would push me being Nigerian, you know, to the furthest extent. But then, like, I got to college and I started going to things like Black Cultural Society and stuff like that. And also, parents play a role in it. Like, Africans, there's like this kind of like unspoken beef between African Americans and Africans.
Okay.
And my parents, they're like a part of that. Like subconsciously, it's like they're not even thinking about like the divide that they're pushing with some of the things that they think and stuff like that. But that's just all they knew.
I think one of the reasons why I like the question is because of that conflict emotionally that you feel when that is presented. Like, you spoke about how would I portray being black as an ethnicity, and I thought about that. It's like, that was made up. You know what I mean? Like, there is no place named black. You know? I feel like for us, we had to form our own culture because, like you said, it was robbed from us. And I feel like the battle with what being black is, or a bit of the conflict that you guys spoke on, could come from, you know directly where you come from. And some of us don't, which leads to that divide. But I think the reason why I love the question is because I think being black should automatically symbolize unity. Because when anybody sees you, they don't see where you came from. They see you as a black man. Whether you from a Caribbean island, whether you from overseas, they view you as a black man. That is the pot that they have put us in. And I think for us, we kind of had to fight in society to find our own culture and to form that. So like you said, it's differences in cuisine, it's differences in music, but it's really, to me, being black is a melting pot. Literally, like I think it's a mix of everything because one, it was created based off of a skin tone. So when you say that, you throwing a lot of things and a lot of people and a lot of different cultures into that pot. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think with that, there is a natural conflict to it because you have some pushback of people who know exactly where they're from. And I think that the opposite of that is, I wish I knew. I wish I could say, hey, I'm from this country, or this is exactly where I derive from. And you know, a lot of people are doing, what's the test that you can do? What's the name of that everybody's doing?
I don't believe in that.
Ancestry?
Yeah, I think it's just, that's a different topic. But I think that's another thing that people, that's why they jump into it, because a lot of people want to know,
right,
like exactly where I derive from. Because like I said, it's no country called black. It's not, we don't know exactly where we might derive from.
There's security in knowing things, even if it's a lie.
Yeah. And you can believe that or feel that way. I wouldn't do it. I don't think I would do the ancestry, but I think that's one of the reasons why I like that question. But with all of those things in mind, like, how do y'all think being black is viewed in the past? And I guess you could juxtaposition that against how it's portrayed now. Do y'all feel like there are any major differences between what it meant to be a black man in the past versus how it means, or what it means to be a black man today?
To who?
To anybody. Let's say society. Let's go from the societal aspect. And then we could go to us as actual black men.
I feel like to society, black men to a certain degree are still viewed the same as in the past when they were viewed as a third of a man,
3/5.
3/5. So it's just like now there's just like a bunch of crafty ways to go about dealing with them as such. Like they still find a way to make black men slaves. I think the amount of black men in the system is probably over triple the amount that were slaves. And being in the system is just a legal way of being a slave. So slavery was never ended, it was just rebranded.
Right.
And they're still they're coming for black men. Like, they want you in that system.
I think I definitely can see how it hasn't been a lot of change in the way that black men are viewed in American society because of those things, because of the stereotypes and the systems that are targeting black men at alarming rates to make sure that they're always disenfranchised and always uncomfortable. But compared to the past, I think it's a crazy type of thing going on, where some black, like, they also some of the most envied men in the world. You see what I'm saying? Like, so many people want to be that ball player or be that music producer or rapper or that creative doing that thing that a black man is doing. You see what I'm saying? So it makes it weird to see that, like, it's people who I know for a fact admire would hang Iverson, Kobe, LeBron jerseys all over their house, but then go outside and mistreat a black man.
Yeah.
But in the presence of one of them, they would become little. You feel what I'm saying? They would be smaller than.
Yeah.
And so that's an aspect that I don't think as a people we've ever seen before, because there was a time where we were always smaller. There was never no, I have the upper hand in this, or you look up to me. Like, I always look up to you and you're gonna make sure of it. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's a difference right now than in the past. Does it change the climate, the status of overall black men? I'm not sure, but I definitely think there is some shift in perspective that's even possible.
I think that's a great point.
And I just want to add that in the media, I feel as though they still try to push the narrative of, like, back in the day when, like, black men were something to be feared, like they're gonna rape all the white women and all that. I feel like they still try to push that narrative of black men being big and bad. Because I just seen something the other day. It was like you gotta pay attention to the way media portrays black men, even in newspapers and stuff like that, compared to white men. Like, I seen a newspaper article, and it's like, in on the front and center, you got a black man, like, mugshot, looking mean,
Right.
killed one person or something like that.
Right.
But then in little notes, you got, oh yeah, but this white guy killed 17 people, or in a mass shooting or whatever. But then when they showed the white man, like they showed this one white man who, like, burned his kids and his wife, and, like, they show a family photo of them happy, like, holding the kids, like. But if it's a black man, you're gonna show the worst picture
you
of
can
him.
find.
And that's to control public perception, because you want the public to continue to look at the black man as this evil person, but then you want them to look at the white man like he's innocent.
Cool.
Like,
You know, I think my favorite Malcolm X quote speaks to that. He said that the media is the most powerful entity in the world because it has the ability to make the innocent look guilty and the guilty look innocent. And I think the power of being able to sway millions like that is still standing today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The fact that, like you said, that's how they portray us. I remember when Michael Brown was murdered, and I was doing some research and looking in and really trying to educate myself on the topic just so I could see both sides. And the first thing that they started to do was dig into his past. You know, it's almost like, what dirt can I put on this black man? What wrong can I find that he's done?
Yep.
You know? And it's like, I saw parents and other black people post a picture of him at his graduation in his cap and gown, but that wasn't the imagery that the media portrayed.
Of course not.
And it's like you said, that's a system that has continued, but I wouldn't even call it fear, because, like, fear, you actually have something on the opposite end. For an example, if I have a phobia of heights, I know that if I fall from the top of a ledge, I could either break a bone or I could die. You know, if I have a fear of snakes, a snake can bite me.
Right.
But if I have a fear, or if some woman or a man would say that they have a fear of a black man that they don't know, that's not fear. I would consider that more so like you're intimidated. You have no basis to feel what you feel. You get what I'm saying? You don't know that man from a can of paint. So I think with that in mind, like, that's an issue that has perpetuated. But I think in the terms of the question, I think there have been small advances in how we are perceived. Just small ones from where we were years ago. But I think some of the advancement that we don't see, I think, is partially our fault. Honestly. When I think back to how men were years ago, black men were different. You know, we kind of reference the civil rights era a lot, but I feel like sometimes that's a disrespect to those men because the work that they put in, we don't do that today in society. Even when there is a national wrong, like we'll protest, we'll gather in the street, we'll protest, we'll hang our signs up, and we go home the next day.
And then the next week, exhibiting super masculine energy, and you want to kill your brother over a female or some money
or some nonsense.
Or a simple disagreement.
Exactly. And the men back then, you know, if we reference in the civil rights era, those men was not only organizing marches, but they were organizing how we can fix legislation. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like they weren't just, okay, we gonna walk down the street together, arm in arm, and that's it, we gonna prove a point. It was, nah, that's step one. What can we do after that that's going to actually make a change? Before we even got the legislature, it's like, okay, y'all don't want to listen to us? I'm not going to put money in your pocket and get back to me when it's hurting. You know what I'm saying? Now. We can't even get together on that. Yeah. And I feel like black men years ago, not saying that there aren't any existent today, but the prevalent leaders that we reference, they were leaders for great reasons. They really, really, really wanted to propel us. And I think the fact that we don't have that backlash that they faced has made us complacent. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if we were really facing raw racism every day the way that they were, not that we don't, but to the magnitude that they did, it would force us to be a whole lot better and to do more than just gather temporarily, to do more than just fight over whatever the issue is. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I guess covering the past, what do y'all think it's gonna look like for black men in the future?
Honestly,
right.
I mean, if you look at history, if you study history, it wouldn't be much different.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing happening that would change the trajectory of the black men right now.
Right.
It's not. I mean, if you look at the things that influence black manhood significantly right now, sports, music, education, there's nothing happening in those systems that's causing a dramatic shift in mind state or mind frame that will lead to a different state of man. Like
right.
To think that, like, I don't see how you could if you study history. But me, you know, I'm an optimist, so I would like to say that, like, you mean, we gonna come together and we gonna start getting it together and we'll have some more, because I do think we'll have more affluent black men and we'll have more conscious black men and more people willing to take a stand against some stuff.
Right.
Will it be enough? I don't know, but I do think that it will seemingly get better for some people.
Right.
But overall, like, you know, it looks like you said, it looks like slavery got better. Like, you know, we're not slaves no more like we used to be slaves. But statistically, we incarcerated high numbers, and legally you're a slave if you're incarcerated.
Yes.
So it hasn't.
Yeah.
But like, it feels better, and I think it'll continue to feel better.
I think that's deep. And that's kind of what I was thinking about, is like that comfortability that we have on a day in and day out is preventing us from achieving that monumental change that we want to see. And then, like you said, like, there's some people that are really trying to probably put in work, you know, even in the world of sports, certain athletes, or in the world of education. But how far can that go if the everyday man or the everyday, you know, person isn't on board with that? And I think the unity is really what is preventing us from getting to certain levels of growth in this country. It's just, we can't agree on small issues. And before we can even get to the mass levels, we gotta agree down here. And I think for us not being able to do that is why you'll only see it in certain people's lives. or in certain situations, because there are some people who can do it and can gather a team that can accomplish a goal together. But I think generally for the masses, I think we lack that. But I would say in the future, I will hope the same thing. I will hope and would like to say that unity will be a common thing. I would hope for that, but realistically, I don't see it.
Yeah, realistically, I don't really see it either, because it's like with media and like the news are just like people's fingertips. Like you pick up your phone, you see this many people died, this happened. Like it's so much going on, and it's just being pushed in the faces. And it's just like you can hear 5 different news stories within a minute. Yeah. So it's like, I think because of the rapid rate of us getting all these traumatic experiences and stuff like that, it's so numbing to society that people don't even care about anything anymore. It's just like, let's just have a good time.
Yeah,
we just want to be entertained. That's why you see people on Netflix, YouTube all day, going to clubs every weekend. They want to have fun. They just want to have fun until they die.
My fault to cut you off. But one thing I did think about was that, like, to keep it a bean, if we just minded our business, we could live pretty good. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if I wasn't worried about no outside issue and just was only worried about myself, I could live a pretty good life, not worried about nothing else. You feel what I'm saying? But is that right to do?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I probably could teach 3 to 5 to maybe 10 other black men how to mind their business and live an alright life. Like, if you really just mind your bit, like, he might talk to you like this a little bit. Don't worry about it. Just keep getting your bread, go home. You mean? Like, don't worry about it. Like, yeah, your cousin might get locked, but that's only one cousin. You got more. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if we mind our business to a certain extent, we can live good. And I think that's different too from the past situation. Because it wasn't no really minding your business. Like, even if you minding your business, they gonna come get you. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to mind my business, and you not letting me mind my business. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Right now it's a difference, because I know I can mind my business and I'll be cool. But it's hard because, like, in my heart, I want to say I want to fight for better for us, because that's what they did. That's what my grandpa never missed a vote, because he's fighting for the next generation. Right. He's trying to instill that, and that's what he did. Right. But really, he could have minded his business too. Like, he got himself to a level where he could have minded his business. Right. Like, I don't even need to get involved in the rest of what y'all doing. Like, I don't need to be trying to sit in front of this bus no more. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit in the back, and that's it. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's a good thing to think about. Like, well, I was thinking about it personally. Like, is it worth it to mind my business, or should I just, or is it worth it to fight this fight that seems never ending? That seems like this uphill. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they got monopoly on everything. You feel what I'm saying? So to fight that is, one, it's an uphill battle, and 2, you almost writing a death wish. Like, you writing, like, the people who have tried to come against that is not that many that have lived to talk about.
I think exactly what you said is probably a complex that so many black men deal with. It's like, if I keep fighting and then I got these black brothers over here that don't even back or support it, I'm trying to fight for you, and you won't even support me, or you can't even see that I'm trying to fight for you. So I think so many black men can say, you know what? I am going to mind my business. Right. Yeah. I am going to worry about my family. Yeah. I am going to just do what I can for mine, because clearly when I try to fight or invest energy to do something for the others, y'all don't care, or y'all don't support. And I think a lot of people burn out that way.
I've even felt that way sometimes. Like,
I felt like that. I'm a little activist.
Right, same.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to fight for y'all. You're not listening. You're not following the plan.
You ain't show up. All you had to do is show up.
You know what I'm saying?
Like we, like some marches that we did, like not having good turnouts and stuff like that. And it's like, damn, like, I make sure that I'm here for every step of the way for us, but then at the same time, like, people want to revoke your black card, and I'm doing, like, yo, it was one time I had this conversation, right? I had this conversation with this one black girl, and she wound up telling me that you need a white girl. You need to be with a white girl, like, instead of a black woman, because because I guess I'm like intellectual or whatever, like. I don't know. I honestly don't know what it was. And honestly, I felt so offended when she said that, because I'm just like, damn, like, the fact that your own counterpart will turn you away, and you do so much, or you feel so strongly about being black, and like embracing that, and your own counterpart will turn you away in that. I was just like, wow.
That's crazy.
That's a slap in the face. Like,
I don't know how I would respond to something like that, honestly. But I think,
and it's just like, I don't get, like what is a black man to you? Like what do you value in a black man?
Yeah, if intellect made you push me away. Yeah. Literally, if being able to carry myself in a good manner made you feel like I'm not a part of this culture, what does a black man look like to you?
Like, what do you really value in?
I honestly think that society created, not even society, but blackness created a view of what black is supposed to be that is not, is like, it's a stereotype for each other. Like, so many times I've spoken to women who say they like their men hood, right? So if you've been in any hood for any amount of time, you know that there's not one type of person in the hood. You talking about this specific person who's standing on the corner like you was talking about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not talking about just any hood, because if you there, then you know that there's a smart brother that live across the street. Right. You feel what I'm saying? There's the church goer that's to the left of the boy you talking about. You know what I'm saying? There's people who really, you talking about a specific look that's been put in your head and perpetuated by a whole bunch of people who don't want to see the betterment of, because that person, the one on the corner, he's not trying to do nothing for himself. So how is he going to do something for you or for his family, which perpetuates the same system of fatherless homes, of the things that's statistically proven to destroy communities, but you're perpetuating by asking for that. Right.
I think even with that, like, that has to be changed. You know what I mean? Like, the thought of what is tough, what is hood, what is hard. To me, none of that make you tough, none of that make you hard, none of that make you hood. For real, those circumstances might have put you out there like that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that you tough, it don't mean that you hard. To me, honestly, tough was graduation. That was tough.
What is the whole thing that you want to be seen as that anyway? Like you want to be seen as hard,
I think,
as tough. Like what does that get you in life?
It is, and I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. But if you gonna view me as hard, you gonna view me as tough, you gonna view me as a thug. View me as a thug corporately.
Yeah.
View me as tough because I went into a situation where the obstacles was against me, and the success that I'm able to reach, I can employ the people that I was hanging with. Yeah. That's tough to me. That's somebody that's hard to me. That's what I want to be viewed as, and I think that's what needs to change. That narrative needs to change in the mind. But then the flip of that made me think is, how much of that is a woman's fault? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that every woman thinks that because of, that's how they view a black man, but how much of that being their mindset is our responsibility? Because of the way that they might be treated, because of the things that we might do. We carry some of that load too. The perception that they might get. Every Caucasian that might walk across the other side of the street when they see me, that's not legitimate because they don't know me. But there's some sisters out there who have been done wrong by some guys. So that is something that they have really encountered, that they really know about. Right. So there is also some responsibility on our end too. So it's like, yeah, I can see that you got that perception, but then I'm also looking at it like, I can see why you got that perception. Because why I don't want to be that. I know some brothers that are.
And I do think that we don't like. We glorify the same thing that they glorify. To keep it real, you feel what I'm saying? Like the rappers or the things that we like are like is the same thing that they like. You feel what I'm saying? So what's like, and a lot of times, especially in Philly, we just go with what's cool. You feel what I'm saying? So like, if I know it's cool to wear a certain thing, that's what I'm gonna wear. Like, it's not that many people going against the grain saying that's not a whole lot of individuality.
Yeah,
which will cause you to be like, oh, black men are in all these different. Because I seen one that's doing this and this. Most of us just like, I'm gonna do what work. You feel what I'm saying? So
I think when you go against it, sometimes you're ostracized.
Yeah.
And I think until you develop the confidence to be who you are, it's hard for you to do that. You know what I mean? Like how you said, you've always spoken. You know, you carry yourself in a good way, or just being an intellectual man. And the fact that you had to deal with all of us probably, but the fact that you can vividly remember people saying like, you're an Oreo, or you're not a part of this culture because of your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like
because you're not the common.
Right.
You're not what I'm used to.
And that's really what it is.
Whatever you're not what they're used to, you're weird.
Yeah.
But I definitely been in situations where I scan a room or I see him and him. They cool to me because I already see they affiliate. Yeah, they look familiar to me. Yeah. So I don't know these people, but they look familiar to me, so that's who I'm gonna gravitate to. And usually, honestly, that's who ended up becoming my friends at first. You feel what I'm saying? Those people, until I started scanning the room and started seeing things a little bit differently, and what I look for started changing, because it's definitely situations where somebody came in and they looked like an outsider and I treated them as such. Like, I can tell that you're not from here, you're not a part of this, and you like, I'm not even gonna try to relate to whatever you're doing and I'm not gonna accept whatever you coming with. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Because it's not what I'm used to. And I think that's common, and I think that goes across the board for all of us, that it's a lot of times where we don't accept, like we less willing to accept what we're not used to. And that's for everything. Music, all that. The more I start getting into arts and all that, I'm like, Philly heavy, the same stuff. Like, it's the same stuff, the same sounds, the same art forms. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody really trying to push it because we all like what we used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that has a lot to do with upbringing as well. Like, you know, what I've seen a lot growing up is what I embodied. Yeah. Whether subconsciously or consciously, like, it just happens. Like, you know how you get older, and like the older you get, you just see yourself like exhibiting characteristics of your parents that you would never even like have thought like damn, maybe I kind of am something like.
No, I think that makes sense. I think with all of that, right, that we was just discussing, what would y'all say is the most annoying, or some of the most annoying occurrences that we go through as black men? Like, what's some of the most annoying things? I think you done already said one.
Nah.
You're like, yo, I'm not an Oreo, bro.
Nah, I'm not even worried about that. But yesterday, right, I was out.
Yesterday,
I was out canvassing with my man, because he's a political manager for this one guy running for state representative in Chasport area, and we were like in an all-white neighborhood, like old white folk, like 80s, between 70, 90, and I told them like, yeah, I'm volunteering for Anton, and they're like, oh, is there any relation? Like, are you his son or whatever? Like just because I'm black and he's a black man, like they just assume that I gotta be related to him. I just told you I'm his volunteer. We don't even look alike.
Yeah.
But then the guy's like, oh, you can see why I asked that though, right? No, I actually can't,
I
because I don't look anything like this.
He made it way worse than the second.
He said that.
Yeah.
The second joint way worse.
Picture of the
first
man, like.
The first one was alright, like it was on the line.
Yeah.
The second one,
he
threw the flag on the second.
Yeah, that's
right.
Too tech. You got to get out of it.
Yeah, the second
that's a little crazy. I would say one of the ones for me is just like, the way that I guess that's
like I look like
we're gonna put a picture up for that just so they can see it.
Right.
We're gonna put it side by side so you can see that. But I would say for me, it's just what I was talking about. One of the most annoying things for me is that intimidation, man. Like, I hate seeing people cross the street. I hate seeing women clutch their purse. I hate seeing like that feeling of uncomfortability, and you can see it in somebody. I hate half smirks. You know what I'm talking about? I hate that. I hate half smirks. But it just bothers me because it's like I think you encounter these things from yay high. Like I can remember the first time that somebody locked their car door twice.
Can I add something to that real quick?
Yeah.
Also yesterday we had a little girl with us, probably like 4 or 5 years old, and as we were going to the houses, like she asked like, oh, why don't some people why do a lot of people not want to talk to us? Because it's like white people. So some of them, like some of the people whose doors I was going to, they was so scared to come to the door. Like they're looking through the window, like, what do you want? Like they wouldn't even open the door.
Yeah.
So it's just like that young asking those questions, like she's experiencing that, and it's like you just gotta tell her, like, you'll understand when you get older.
Right.
Like stuff like that,
And based on what you said y'all was doing, I'm sure y'all wasn't knocking on people's doors in hoodies and sweats.
I was, but I had my hood on though.
Yo,
and it's crazy that you gotta even.
I gotta even go there.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying.
Like my mom would tell me, oh, when you driving or when you outside, don't be wearing a do-rag, whatever.
Or
the cops stop.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yo, my mom
is just fashion.
I went out last night and I had on all black. And before I went out, I stopped past just to make sure my mom was good. And she said, why do you have on all black? And I think just the fact that we live in a society where I have to be cautious wearing a certain color because of how I'm going to be perceived is a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I could give you another situation where it was this, it's a thing these soccer players wear when they're training. I think they call it a snooch. It covers from the nose to the neck, just to keep you warm while you out there working out. So I was gonna buy one, and my wife was like, if you do, can you please get a different color other than black? And that was my alternative to getting, I guess, a whole, yeah. Now I can't remember the exact term, the correct term for those. I think it starts with a B. It's like a box. I can't remember it. But nonetheless, that was my alternative. And because of how I'm going to be perceived walking down the street, I got to have my nose, neck, and everything else covered. Because if I wear something, I'm going to be looked at as a threat or as a problem. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's an issue. Like we don't learn, or you do learn, but you learn how to process that on your own. And I think sometimes different men process that. They process everything differently. We all process everything differently, but I think dealing with that your whole life, like it kind of becomes normal, and it shouldn't be a normal thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think I don't know. I'm totally with you. I don't even notice no more. Like, I do what I do, and it's almost habitual now. And like, I would have to stop and pause and think about it, or like look and or certain times notice like how my white friends would react in the same situation where I would react differently, and think like, damn, like I just reacted like that, and they didn't even think nothing of it, and that's when it comes to me. But other than that, it's just like so normal that I don't even think twice about like somebody following me in the store or nothing. Like, I don't even see these people anymore.
Yo, I think that's a problem.
That's
a problem. Like that's how normal it is. Like you really gotta rack your brain. Your first drink was yesterday.
Right, it just happened. Like,
it just happened. Like not even a whole 24 ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. And the little girl that you said that asked, why won't they talk to us at 4 years old? And it's sad, you told her like, you'll learn when you get older, but the sad thing is, she gonna be learning that for the rest of her life. she's gonna be dealing with that for the rest of her life. And I think the anger that you get from that, I don't know if it annoys everybody the same way, or I think sometimes different situations might be worse than others, but I think that's a problem. The fact that we just so accustomed to that, especially as black men, it's just like, that's normal. You know what I'm saying? A cop pull you over,
Right.
it's
I'm
normal.
automatically convicted felon.
Automatic.
Both hands.
Both hands.
Both hands on the wheel, right.
I'm pretty sure
We
I
can
got my
work on the
license
dash
and everything
already.
ready before they get to, because as soon as I reach,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna try.
yeah.
Tripping,
I'm
I'm
not
reaching
reaching for
just make
nothing.
sure. Listen, you can grab it.
Straight up, you
Go
can go
ahead.
get it.
You want it, you get it.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I don't even pay attention when people follow me in the store.
That's terrible.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, maybe she think I smell good. Maybe that's what, but that's bad. Like, you know what I mean? That's normal for us. I really think that's bad. The last one I wanted to ask y'all was on a different note slightly. I just wanted to know if y'all feel as though we get the support that we should from our counterparts in black women.
I think when it comes to black people and support, like we definitely thin, like just across the board. So it's like, I know for a fact black men not supporting black women the way that we should. You feel what I'm saying? So to be like, she not supporting me like she should, feel like real hypocritical, because I know I ain't doing it. You feel what I'm saying? I know I ain't even looking for it like I should. You feel what I'm saying? I really should be on some like hyper vigilant, like this my sister regardless. Like I see you doing this, I'm picking it up for you. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that's a component of like what being a man should be a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? Just like not even having to be asked, or not even having to have some type of emotional attachment to whoever that is. Like, I'm gonna just show love regardless. And I think it's in a woman's nature to reciprocate. You feel what I'm saying? Just double up on whatever they give you. You feel what I'm saying? And I think women do such a phenomenal job of taking a little and making a lot, or making it seem like a lot. So if they was given that type of support, then we would get it back so much more. But a lot of times they got to do it for themselves. They got to do it for each other. So why would I show you this type of love? You feel what I'm saying?
I feel like I agree, but I also feel like, and obviously I'm talking about a minority here, but I feel like there is a good amount of black men who do want to support black women, but because they're so used to not being supported, it's like that foreign object again. It's like, oh, that's weird.
Right.
I'm gonna just stick to what I know because I'm comfortable here, because I've already been conditioned to be here.
All right. And what I found, like, I got a sister and a mom and all that, and I thought, you know what I mean, I knew what was up. You feel me? I thought I knew what I was doing in terms of support. I thought I knew what they went through. And I think as I got older and I like talked to more people and I read more and watched more and learned more just in general, I realized that the way in which I thought support was supposed to look like wasn't what it needed to be. And really, it's individual. Like, it ain't even the same for everybody. I can't even support everybody the same. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta support her in the way that she needs at that time. And in order to do that, it's like, it takes a little bit of effort, a little bit more effort than probably what I was given. But I do think there are a lot more willing men than what it seems like. But I do think like we could do a better job of getting on the same page. Like I'm trying to help you, but am I doing it right? You feel what I'm saying? And am I doing it right for every instance? Because black women is not one person. Like they each an individual woman with individual needs, individual what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to get from this. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, a crazy lesson that I learned. One of the craziest is when I was in college, I minored in gerontology, which is the study of aging. And I learned that like for older people, when you just interject and say, I got that for you, you feel what I'm saying? It's disabling. Like it's saying that like you can't do this for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times for black men, that might be what it is. And I got this for you. You feel what I'm saying? But she wasn't asking for that. She wasn't asking you to take even the burden off. She was just asking for somebody to talk to. She was just asking for, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just give me what you have that can help me do it. You feel like I don't need you to do it. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that's a lot of black men think that holding in the door, like I got this door, you feel what I'm saying? I'm doing it for you, I'm supporting, you feel what I'm saying? But she wanna hold her own door. I wanna get this door for myself, but I need to give you that chance. I said from the rip that I'm the power figure in this, and if it's a door to be open, I'm gonna get it. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't give you the chance to take the power in your own life to say, I wanna get this door. You feel me? If you wanna help me, get the other one, get the second one. You feel what I'm saying? That's cool, but I wanna get the first one. And I think like learning each other in that way would go so far and to be able to say that we really support each other. You feel what I'm saying? I think we do what we think support is supposed to be, what we think it looks like, but what it is for every individual, definitely.
I think everybody wants to support when it's trendy,
Yeah, for sure.
when it's cool, you know what I'm saying? When we are, my black sisters, blah, 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 black is beautiful. But on a realistic point, I have seen situations where somebody was dogging a sister and we ain't interject.
Yeah, nobody spoke up.
That's wrong too.
And do you feel like to a certain degree that women kind of set the tone, or at least I feel like control the narrative? Because yeah, we see social media portraying these things, but I feel like a lot of times, like, people might say, oh, men are trash or whatever, blah blah blah, but if like
I know where you're going, and I agree with you 1,000%.
If women continue,
they have the power.
If women continue to say yes to this kind of man,
they're never going to upgrade.
How does that empower the man that wants to be different?
I agree with that.
Like because even the man who wants to be different, he'll see that
he's not accepted.
I'm not getting girls this way. I'm not getting girls by being the gentleman, by being so supportive. But this guy who lacks that is getting all the girls. So maybe I should change and be like this guy so that I can start getting girls.
When I would think about that, right?
And then you decrease the population of men that want to be different.
The question with that has to be, what type of man are you? That's a question of integrity. Personally, I used to feel that way. I used to really feel that point. But when I got a little bit older, I looked at it like, when you close your eyes at night, are you comfortable sleeping knowing that you just lowered yourself for the reason of that? Because honestly, just as much as I can say that I feel like if a woman women as a whole did not settle for men who walked around this earth with 3-piece suits, sharp as a tack, and could provide, I know that men would meet that. But on the same hand, if I do not settle for a woman who can match my intellect or who can support me as I support her, why doesn't it happen to them? You get what I'm saying? If I am portraying something other than that, why wouldn't it be the same on the other side? So like, I feel like with that, like, yeah, you should push to continue to be how you are. That's a matter of your integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to say, okay, my character, no matter what happens, I am not going to change, wither, or falter for X, Y, and Z. I'm just not going to do that. And I think the woman has to do the same thing.
And I get what you're saying, but I'm still posing the question of like, who's in charge of that narrative? Like, because yeah, I can have all my integrity and still be the man that I am, but
I don't think as a man, like I don't think I would be even comfortable saying like women is controlling the type of man that they get. You feel what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
I'm not saying that they control the type of man that they get. I'm saying that they kind of contribute to that. Okay, this is what we glorify. Like,
but that's what I'm saying.
These type of men are in the spotlight.
I feel like I even said what I just said wrong. I feel like more so like what you're saying is because the women are accepting this type of man, the man is becoming this type of man. You feel what I'm saying? Like the woman is dictating how the man should act based upon what they're accepting.
Not dictating how they should act, because they're not saying, oh, you better get like this or else I'm not gonna get with you. It's the guy who feels insecure and they're like, oh well,
right.
Maybe it's because of how I am and I'm not acting like that I'm not getting it.
Exactly. And I think like when it comes to that, like Daryl was saying, it goes back to the man, but I do believe that like
black men, for whatever reason, right now, aren't showing like a certain level of integrity or a certain level of like, I'ma uphold this. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? So on that end, I can't really say that just because the some women are okay in saying like, this is what I prefer, that's an excuse for the men who chose to lower to that standard. You feel what I'm saying? Because as the man in the situation, or if I was to teach men, I would say you stand on your beliefs regardless. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like I couldn't put that, even if that's all they was accepting, we not accepting.
Right, that's it. And I think that's a part of being a man.
And I think that's the part of being a person, period, is that a lot of times as people, we get caught up on everything we can't control. Yes. I can't control how she see me or what she like, but I can't control what type of man that I am. So if I'm gonna be the best man possible and it influence you and you to be the best man possible, now whoever has no choice but they accept the best version of black men that we have to offer.
And if you putting it in the perspective of getting women or finding a woman, I used to think of it like, man, you seen less than 3.5% of the world.
Right.
So if this is just how it's going where you at, they gonna love you somewhere else. Yeah. Believe you. Yeah. And I think I used to think that way. And I used to feel like that, man. Like I didn't do a whole lot of stuff that everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? So I would feel like, all right, well, why I don't get that type of attention? And I think when I started to change my mindset to like, no, I'm not gonna conform because of what everybody else is doing. I gotta stay true to myself.
And then I'm gonna try.
And on the other hand,
me what actually appreciates me.
Another crazy part too, like I was telling you about what are you trying to gravitate to you? There's whole nother bracket of women
that we don't even. You wouldn't even know about.
The ones that you talking about, they exist.
They out there,
but they're also the women that hold men to a higher standard and feel as though there's nobody to meet my standard. You feel what I'm saying? And that's perfect for the men who hold themselves to the standard. You feel what I'm saying? Because now we connected. You see what I'm saying? And now we building something on a whole different level than the people who haven't gotten there yet. Not that that they won't, but they just not there. We're not thinking the same right now. So let me elevate and let me attract the people who thinking how I'm thinking, because they definitely out there.
They out there. They just might not be around the way all the time.
Right. They might not be where you at.
They might not be where you at right now.
If you keep holding if you create that gravitational pull, that's who you want to start pulling. You know what I'm saying?
So I think, man, this was a great conversation. I think anybody that's watching this, I think y'all can get some insight from it. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Just gonna conclude this episode, man. From our living room to yours, wherever you're watching it. Like this, subscribe it, comment down below your thoughts. Until next time.
Yes, sir.